the two, Tomac and Webb. There are also other players in this, and Tomac puts the front wheel, the back wheel across the front of Roczen. They're side by side, a repeat of what we had, and Roczen leads already, heading down into turn 2, but Tomac goes for the jugular and tries to get the elbow into the ribs of the German. But it's Roczen who leads away, and Tomac comes up short and already hands a big advantage to the number 94, Webb, in third place.
Yeah, that was a big mistake by Eli, but he's recovered it. He's able to hold on to that second place, and now he's got to get the job done catching Kenny. Good luck catching the sprinting Ken Roczen. Not too many people in the world can do that. Good start for Justin Brayton, fourth place. Looking good. JB's got to make it happen in the whoops right away, I think, in my estimation, in order to get Webb, and I think he'll do that. But the battle and the eyes are on 1 and 2 right now.
And, of course, Justin Brayton and Cooper Webb tied on points at the moment on 21. So the battle for third is also at play between these two here, the number 2 and Brayton. Brayton has third at the moment, or he did before the gate drop for the final time. But it will be Webb who jumps up into that third place and leave here with the bronze medal if there was one, a third place trophy at least. But the gap at the end of that first lap, 1 second between Roczen and Tomac. Will there be a response here? We have plenty of time left. Remember, it's a 12-minute plus 1 lap main event here for the final race of the weekend. And Ken Roczen, 1.1 seconds clear. He set the fastest lap on that opening lap, 43.9 compared to a 44.0. So nothing in it between those two. As the circuit, the turns, start to break down, consistency is going to be the key.
Yeah, what we haven't seen this weekend over the 2 days is Tomac catch and pass Ken Roczen. So if he's going to end up with the King of Paris title, he's going to have to do it doing something he hasn't done all weekend, and that's catch and pass Ken Roczen. Ken Roczen's been able to catch and pass Eli Tomac. So interesting little dynamic set up here. Good job for Cooper Webb. Riding much better today. He had a so-so practice this morning. I believe he was 8th.
Yeah.
Quickest. Wasn't very good for Cooper Webb standards.
But turned it into a third in the Super Pole, which got him the third gate pick and, crucially, an important start as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go.
So, whoop speed for Kenny. Yeah, getting through there a lot quicker. Again, was he just dragging a leg through that left-hander there? Looked like he was off balance ever so slightly. And the last time around, through this triple quad section, triple quad double, Tomac came up short again around about here last time around. Now he overjumps.
Now he overjumps, yeah. Last time around, Ken Roczen put his best lap in. It's early, but 43.7 for Kenny. That last lap around, that was his best, the 43.9 for Eli Tomac.
Yeah, so 2 laps in, and Kenny's gone fastest lap. So is there going to be another one better than 43.7 this time around? No, it's not. 44.0 and a 0.8 and 0.9. So nothing in it again between these two.
That's close. Look at those top 3 times. Fastest rider was Justin Brayton that time around by only a couple hundredths, but yeah, still, that's something that he can hang his hat on. These guys are pushing it right now, Paul. They are pushing the edge. You can see it's go time for everybody. I think Brayton knows what's at stake for third, and obviously Tomac knows what's at stake for first.
Somebody say stake.
Look, Tomac went long again on that rhythm. Same thing. He's having a little bit of trouble with that.
Just the timing.
3.42 going out of that.
And this just playing into the hands of Roczen, of course, just who's inch perfect at the moment. But without spoiling what happened in the SX2 race, you know, inch perfect and, you know, those kind of consistency with whoop speed and things like that can come up and bite you in the backside. But, you know, you don't expect it from these professionals at this level, but every now and again, you just never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, look at these guys. This is fun to watch. That whoop speed is incredible by all these guys. Cooper Webb, much better today.
Brayton closing in on Webb as we looked out of our booth there. So maybe Brayton has the upper hand there. Didn't he find his way past around that part of the racetrack the second time around?
He did, absolutely. There's Cedric Supercross, and he's having a nice race. 6th place for Cedric. And again, he went down big time in practice. So it's good to see him even out there riding right now. And Subs right now being 6th. That's a strong finish for him, all things considered.
Yeah, when you think of the 5 guys ahead of him, 6 is probably what he was hoping for, even at 100% coming into this weekend. You know, such as the speed and the consistency of Roczen, Tomac, Webb, Brayton, and Marvin Musquin. As it stands right now, Roczen would walk away with a 2-point win over Eli Tomac to be crowned King of Paris. But if these two change positions, they tie on points, and then we will see how that tie-break works.
Here we go. Tomac 3, 4. Still goes a little long, but it's better than it's been for sure. So good job to Eli Tomac. Oh, Cooper Webb's off the track.
Oh, Webb, and that allows Brayton to go through. That's his 3rd place, done and dusted, because Musquin goes through as well, I believe. Yes, he has. And look how tricky it is. It's obviously hard You've got the concrete, you've got the hard boards, you've got the loose, dry dirt as well. You can't just get back on the track and hope for the best. So Cooper Webb then just costing him third position in this overall King of Paris classification, if you like.
Yeah, you got to be careful. We've seen many riders crash trying to get back onto the track, right, with the slippery concrete and everything else. So Coop was playing it pretty cautious there. If this is a round in America, he's probably a little more buck wild trying to get on the track. But for this one, let's take it easy and just make sure that he survives it, right? So right now, we have Ken Roczen at his best time.
Fastest lap, though.
Yeah, fastest lap right now. Eli Tomac, 43.3.
Pulls back another couple tenths. So is there going to be a late surge? 6.5 minutes thereabouts, plus a lap. And the gap now 1.3 seconds. Another response from Tomac, 43.9 compared to the 44.1. Game on again, Steve Mathis.
Yeah, absolutely. Closing it down was 1.8. Now it's 1.3. Half a second up. Eli Tomac's made up. And look, this is the longest race of the night. Who does fitness play in? It's Eli Tomac. We all know that. So if he's going to make it happen and catch Ken Roczen, the longest man in the event will definitely play to his advantage. We know that for sure. 3-4 here. He gets it that time. So it seems like he's got that back on track. Watch the way he stands up through this right-hand turn here, Malin. This is just amazing. Right there. Look at that. God, I wish I could do
double.
that. It looks like you in 94.
Cheers, mate. Railing outside.
Yeah.
8 laps complete. 1.3 the gap. Another tenth quicker. So the gap is creeping down in Tomac's favor. He just needs to get close enough to try and put Tomac under Roczen under pressure.
Yep, you'll get it. Yeah, you know what's interesting to see? They're pulling away from Justin Brayton. They're pulling away from Marvin Musquin. Both of these top two guys. They're not setting their fast times right now, but they're still going quite a bit quicker than the other guys. And I think that's just where you see the tip of the spear, the elite of the elite, right? We've got 5 minutes to go here, and they can keep those times down. Guys like Brayton and Marvin, world-class racers, can't quite match it.
Keep an eye on the times again. 44.0 and a 44.1. Advantage Roczen.
Yeah, that's the first time, I think, in 3 laps that Kenny's gone a little quicker, right?
From a psychological point of view, from Kenny, you know, coming here and riding the way that he has, you know, ahead of what would be the start of the Anaheim, the American Supercross season in Anaheim in January, does the world of, you know, the confidence does the world of good, doesn't it, you know, and all the rest of it. But you can also look at it and go, it's only Paris.
Yeah, there's both ways of looking at it. If you get beat, you go, it's only Paris. If you win, it's amazing and it helps you. But look, let's not kid ourselves. Ken Roczen's got to figure out what he's riding next year. We don't even know. Could he end up with the Honda Genuine Parts? Maybe. Could he end up on a Suzuki? Maybe.
This is not a 1.4 second gap anymore. It's less than a second for the first time this race. 9 tenths in it between Roczen and Tomac. So a massive response from the American on the Yamaha.
Boy, oh boy, he can smell that exhaust coming out from Ken right now. That's impressive lap by Eli for sure. It's under a second. It was 1.8 at one point, and now we got 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go, and the gap is under a second. This is what we came for. This is what the fans want all day long.
He's obviously figured out where his weak point was in the first half of the race. He's obviously gone to work to try and minimize whatever that weakness was, if there was one. Maybe the track is just coming towards him. Maybe Roczen is fading in, and Tomac's fitness is starting to come into play here. Either way, we are in for a fantastic 3.5 minutes plus 1 lap here. The gap is still hovering around about a second. Good physical game this, a good mental game from Kenny Roczen, not allowing Tomac to upset his rhythm, his concentration. He's just doing everything right in all of his markers. And this is why we're still seeing that gap of about a second between the Honda and the Yamaha.
Yeah, Kenny pulled it back out a little bit that lap. Paul, think how many times Eli Tomac and Ken Roczen have raced each other. Whether it goes back to MX2 in America, whether it goes back to Supercross on the big bikes, these two are literally just the rivalry they have between each other is phenomenal.
10 years on even.
Yeah, it's incredible what the races these guys have had. There's no real secrets between them, right? You kind of know how each other rides. They're not dirty, either one of these guys, and they know the strengths and weaknesses of them, and we're seeing them here in Paris in 2022.
Another good response from Kenny. Another couple tenths pull back. Did he just lose it, though, on the exit of that turn? Because it's now out to 1.3, and Tomac has got closer as a result of that little mistake, and Kenny commits full chat to the whoop section. Traffic ahead of them, though, and they are doing their best to stay out of the way.
Tomac had a little bit worse of a run in the whoops than he's had that time around, and so it kind of negates Kenny's rear end kicking out there a little bit. So I think that we'll see close to the same gap when they come around this time. But, Paul, you nailed it. Traffic is coming. We're seeing some good guys in their own battles guys like Desprez, guys like Bourdon that are having their own races, and they got to get out of the way here shortly.
Yeah, out of the final turn then. Another lap clicked off, lap 13. And Roczen continues to lead, this time by 1.2 seconds. Traffic on the rise, and again, they do their best to move out. Another slip up on the rear wheel for Roczen as he gets on the gas out of that first turn.
We got 1:40 to go. The gap is 1.2. And this is for all the marbles. This is for the King of Paris. So it's a pretty cool race going on. Really, really cool to see these two guys push each other.
So triple, quad, double, more traffic looming large ahead of Ken Roczen. Here's Marvin Musquin. He is in 4th place, about 3 seconds down on Justin Brayton. Brayton on the verge of taking 3rd overall, which after 7th in the second race yesterday, which effectively kind of ended his chances of taking the King of Paris title. 3rd is as good as it's going to get for him, and like I said earlier on in the broadcast, he will take that with both hands. It was like, well, I need that at least.
Yeah, as my buddy Jason Wygant says, he's 38 years old. He's just lucky to be here. And so getting 3rd overall, King of Paris, beating Marvin Musquin and Cooper Webb is nothing to slide at. He'll be happy about that. But I watched these two guys up front pushing each other, and that's a pretty cool thing. 1.2 gap, 39 seconds to go. So we're going to have 2 laps left in this race. And Kenny, hey, he answered it, right?
Absolutely.
He had the gap went from 1.8 to less than 1, and Roczen picked it up. Full props to him.
Looking at making it 3 wins today.
Yeah, and it's got to feel good, too. The last time these guys raced together was UK in Cardiff. You were there. And
I didn't go. I watched it.
Oh, I thought you were there.
Yeah.
Feels like you're always around me.
Thanks.
At all times. And, you know, Tomac was the better man there and beat Ken Roczen. So it's got to feel good for Kenny if he can hold on to this.
And he's 1.4, you know, going into this penultimate lap. So a lap and a half to go. He looks like he's done just enough now to keep Tomac at bay. And dare I say, can he enjoy this final lap that's about to unfold?
I hope so. You know what I mean? He keeps things pretty close to his vest when he talks to the media, but I hope he enjoys this. And I hope for a guy that, you know, needs to make a statement for 2023 Supercross, this helps him a little bit. Last lap, folks. White flag is out. 1.8 seconds. Yeah, it's almost over here, right?
Father singing. Justin Brayton, fantastic Paris performance for him as well. He's going to be 3rd in the race, 3rd overall on the night, quite possibly. We'll soon find out, but he's also going to be 3rd in the King of Paris classification. But Eli Tomac, despite trying to rough up Kenny through the first couple of corners in the last 2 races, Kenny was able to respond and just definitely brought his A game. Yep. 2 corners to go. Your performance of the weekend so far has to be Kenny.
Absolutely. First time for Ken Roczen in Paris. I know that everyone's been trying to get him here forever. First time here for the German, and he puts on a show and takes the King of Paris.
Final turn, final jump, and Kenny Roczen wins. He knew exactly what he had to do. He had to beat Eli Tomac. Tomac knew that he also had to beat Roczen if he was going to be potentially crowned the King of Paris, because obviously they would have finished on a tie, same number of wins, seconds and thirds, so we would have had to have left it to the judges. Fortunately, Kenny Roczen made it just that little bit simpler in terms of the mathematics. He went out, he knew exactly what he had to do, and Ken Roczen leaves Paris as the King of Paris. And Yariv Konski there, the dude around the back, the team owner for Honda Genuine Racing. And Brayton will make it a 1-3 for the team as well. So well worth the trip, and congratulations, guys. And they have been focused all weekend long. We try to get Justin up here during the broadcast in the intermission sections, of course, but at the same time, you know, results and just maybe a little bit of pressure here and tensions, and it was understandable as to why he maybe didn't want to just come up in the end, but you know what, he's made it pay here. And Eli Tomac can only watch as Roczen just goes on a lap of honor. Fans have loved him being here this weekend, Steve Mathis.
Yeah, they really have. He's been, like I said, first time here. The fans have been totally digging it. They're right into it. Good job for Kenny Roczen. When the pressure was on, when he needed to get it done, he got it done. 3 wins today on Sunday, and thwarting Eli Tomac's great night last night. And Justin Brayton 5-3-3 on the day for 11 points and 3rd overall. And 3rd in the King of Paris as well. Marvin Musquin, Cooper Webb, Cedric Supercross, Greg Aranda, Thomas Ramet, Anthony Bourdon, and Julien Roczen.
Yeah, and obviously Marvin Musquin tying on points with Brayton tonight, so won't make the podium and will not leave here as a 4-time King of Paris.
Yeah, tough break for Marvin. Never looked to be super on his A game, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean,